Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, two major stories as we come on the air. Pressure mounting on President Biden as he fights to keep his campaign alive, and that massive hurricane on the move. President Biden defiant as pressure mounts.
I screwed up. I made a mistake. That's 90 minutes on stage. Look at what I've done in 3.5 years.
What he told Democratic governors in a meeting last night as he faces new calls to step aside after his debate performance. The campaign insisting Biden is staying in the race, but sources tell ABC News the president has privately acknowledged the next few days will be critical for his campaign. Now, what new polls reveal about the face-off between Biden and Trump.
Breaking news: Hurricane Beryl on the move after slamming Jamaica. The life-threatening storm surge swallowing roads. We're on the ground in the hardest hit areas.
Here in Montego Bay, we're really in the thick of it right now.
As the massive storm heads towards the Gulf Coast. Plus, the holiday scorcher. 150 million Americans from Seattle to Miami under heat alerts.
Wildfires in the West exploding overnight, ferocious flames engulfing entire homes and cars, why officials are calling it an exceptionally dangerous situation. On alert, the new concern about big 4th of July gatherings in major cities across the country and how law enforcement is preparing.
Urgent rip current warning. New alerts for beaches across the country this weekend. Sam Champion is here to tell you where. And the must-see demo before you head to the water.
The thing with the rip current is it's moving not as fast as an Olympic swimmer, so you're probably not going to beat him.
Why they're so hard to spot and the first thing to do if you're caught in one.
One of the biggest retail mergers ever, now in the shopping bag. Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, and how Amazon is involved.
And what's the beef with the most famous hot dog eating contest?
The once and future champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
Why 16-time champion Joey Chestnut was banned from the competition this year. Plus, how to take a bite out of the biggest star-spangled sales happening right now. GMA is lighting up your holiday as we celebrate the 4th of July.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America, and happy Independence Day. We are with you on this 4th of July, and check out these fireworks. Not Geo and Wit, but communities across the country getting a head start on their 4th of July celebrations overnight.
Oh, and happy 4th to you both.
Yes.
And we are following two major stories on this holiday. The deadly Hurricane Beryl on the move this morning after slamming Jamaica. Sam Champion, you know it, he's here with the latest tracking and if it could hit the U.S.
Yep, we'll have more on that coming up, but we do begin with President Biden facing new fallout from his debate performance. All eyes are on the president, with these next few days critical for his campaign as he gets ready to sit down with our George Stephanopoulos tomorrow for his first television interview since that debate. There's so much at stake here, and we want to get right to our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, with the latest. Selena, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Whit. The president is refusing to back down. But behind the scenes, I'm told the president knows what a tough spot he's in and that these next few days could make all the difference.
This morning, President Biden is defiant, refusing to step aside, even as more Democrats openly call for a new nominee.
I screwed up. I made a mistake. That's 90 minutes on stage. Look at what I've done in 3.5 years.
The president meeting with Democratic governors as he tries to calm anxieties after his disastrous debate. After the meeting, only 3 of the governors coming before cameras, telling reporters the conversation was honest, focused on defeating Donald Trump in November, and ended with one message.
President Joe Biden is in it to win it. And all of us said we pledged our support to him because the stakes could not be higher.
Sources tell ABC News that Biden told a group that after the debate, he received a medical checkup and is fine. During press briefings this week, the White House claimed that Biden had not received any medical exams in recent days. But this morning, now acknowledging the president was seen by a doctor to check on his cold in the days after the debate. Sources tell ABC News Biden has privately acknowledged that the next few days are critical, even telling one ally that he's keeping, quote, an open mind about the path forward. But Democrats are increasingly nervous that Biden will lose to Trump and cost the party control of the House and Senate. The White House pushing back.
Is the president clear-eyed about what it takes to stay in the race? and what it would take for him to drop out.
The president is clear-eyed, and he is staying in the race. I don't have anything else beyond that. He's staying in the race.
Sources say that Biden and Vice President Harris spoke to campaign staff on Wednesday, trying to reassure them to move forward together. The 81-year-old telling them, "I'm in this race to the end, and we're going to win." But doubt is spreading. A second Democratic lawmaker, Congressman Raul Grijalva of Arizona, now says Biden should get out of this race, telling the New York Times, "If he's a candidate, I'm going to support him. But I think that this is an opportunity to look elsewhere." Others increasingly frustrated by how Biden's inner circle is shielding him. Biden only speaking with top Democrats in Congress several days after the debate.
He's got to show the American people that he can do this job. And he can't be wrapped in bubble right now.
They've clearly fumbled this.
Fueling the fire, 2 new polls after the debate show Biden falling even further behind Trump. The New York Times and Wall Street Journal both reporting Biden trails his Republican rival by at least 6 points. With Democrats in chaos, Trump out golfing, and in this video that the former president posted to his Truth Social account, he falsely claims Biden is quitting and bashes Harris.
She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. It's just so bad.
And guys, the Biden campaign is firing back, saying that what is bad is Trump's policies and his behavior, his, quote, constant lying, and his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, in the coming days, the president wants to prove that he is up for this job by hitting the campaign trail more and doing more interviews, including with our George Stephanopoulos on Friday. I'm told the president is well aware just how critical these next few days are. Whit.
All right, Selena Wang, thank you. Let's dig a little deeper here with Rachel Scott, who's been covering both campaigns for us. So, Rachel, good morning to you. You've been talking to Democrats behind the scenes. They're really looking at this Friday interview with President Biden as a critical make-or-break moment.
All eyes are on this interview. I've talked to a number of Democrats who have said that flat out because, look, they saw what happened on the debate stage. They said that was not good. Then they heard that the president had not even reached out to top Democrats on Capitol Hill. They said that wasn't good either. At the end of the day, this comes down to the American people. And guess what? The polls that we have seen since that debate still show that President Biden is losing to Donald Trump in a head-to-head matchup. They know that the next few days are going to be critical, including this interview. They want to see the president in another unscripted moment. And you still have Democrats who are on the fence. I was told that Senator Joe Manchin was going to come out and call for the president to step aside. Senior Democrats talked him out of it. But if he does not perform well in this interview, I'm told by Democrats, we could see the number of Democrats calling for him to step aside to grow.
And the clock is ticking down to the Democratic convention there. So we did see former President Donald Trump's comments in that video. So how is the Trump campaign responding to these questions about Biden's future and a possible shakeup?
They are preparing for all scenarios. What if it's still President Biden? What if it's Vice President Kamala Harris? What if it's someone else? What you'll notice is that the Trump allies are starting to attack Vice President Kamala Harris a little bit more. They're following the bouncing ball, what's happening as we are reporting all of this with what's going on in the Democratic Party. The bottom line, what I've talked to allies and sources close to the former president, they do want it to be President Biden. They have built a whole campaign bashing President Biden. They want it to be him on the ballot in November.
All right, we will see what happens in the next few days. Rachel Scott, so much thank you. We appreciate it. And again, that interview with George Stephanopoulos is happening on Friday, tomorrow, with President Biden. Biden's first television interview since the debate. The entire interview will then air tomorrow night, right here on ABC at 8 p.m. Rebecca?
A critical conversation with George coming up. All right, Whit, thank you. We turn now to the other major story of the morning. Hurricane Beryl on the move after battering the island of Jamaica overnight. Faith Abube is live on the ground in one of the hardest hit areas. Good morning, Faith.
Hey, good morning to you, Rebecca. Just come over here and take a look. It's a bit of an obstacle course trying to get around parts of the island this morning. Road crews are trying as quickly as possible to clear the area. There are downed trees, dangling power lines. The electric company says at the height of the storm, hundreds of thousands of people were in the dark.
Overnight, Hurricane Beryl slamming Jamaica, wreaking havoc across the Caribbean nation as a Category 4 with winds up to 140 miles per hour, knocking down power in much of Kingston.
Here in Montego Bay, we're really in the thick of it right now. The outer bands lashing the area, rain pouring in as the winds intensify.
Extensive damage reported across the island.
We are trying to create single-lane traffic so vehicles.
Cleanup crews rushing to clear roads from falling trees, many roads submerged. So far, Beryl's deadly path killing at least 7 people in the Caribbean. Jamaica's prime minister saying the island had not seen the worst of Beryl yet, with nearly 500 people placed in shelters.
I have no control over what is coming, so I just have to pray that all people of Jamaica is safe.
Many Americans hunkering down in hotels and vacation rentals.
We are tired and we are hungry and we're really ready to get out of here.
New Jersey family Brett Savage Simon and her children were vacationing in Montego Bay celebrating their college graduation, forced to take shelter in the hotel ballroom.
When a hurricane is coming, it's already kind of like a scary, cautionary kind of event. And to not be in our home, out of all places, was already like a uncomfortable experience for us.
And Gio, a new curfew that was imposed overnight has now expired. The prime minister says at the height of the storm, there were about 500 people who had to ride out the storm in shelters this morning. Assessment teams will be out surveying the damage. Gio.
And it's unbelievable to see Jamaica like that. Faith, thank you so much for your reporting. Let's go ahead and bring in Sam with the timing of the track and where this is all going. But you're also following the extreme heat. That's playing a role here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, Gio. And so we were shocked by Beryl's growth and explosion in the warm waters of the Caribbean Sea. Now we're losing strength on this storm as expected to the forecast. Look how far it is away from Jamaica. There's the Cayman Islands. So the Cayman's involved in this today, but already Jamaica in much better looking skies. We'll watch this storm weaken in strength as it continues to move to maybe 2 hits in Mexico. So looking somewhere near Tulum is maybe a 1 here. Then it will lose strength as they all do, moving across the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, the Gulf waters. How warm is this? We just had a storm move through here, so it's not as hot as you think it might be. This means it will strengthen, but we could have a 1, and we need to see where it's going to go. So watch this high shift. That's the thing that's steering it. We use spaghetti models, but we don't look at the individual lines. We look at kind of the idea of where they all are. And look at this in that northeastern coast of Mexico. Also, though, South Texas in play here. So we want to watch it very carefully. Meanwhile, that high that's steering this storm is also trapping the heat. So here's where we have the excessive heat warnings and watches. I want you to look all the way to Washington, D.C., because D.C. and Philly are about to get into this. Brand new one moves into the west. Its duration is going to be what we're going to talk about. This is going to be tough for the West Coast, guys.
The longer it goes on,
Yep.
the more complicated it gets. Okay,
Yep.
Sam, thank you. And we know you'll be back with us shortly to cover more of the country as well. We turn now to the wildfire emergency right now in Northern California that has forced nearly 30,000 people to evacuate, with the flames threatening thousands of homes and structures. Melissa Adan is on the scene in Oroville, California with the latest there. Good morning, Melissa.
Rebecca, here in the community of Oroville, several homes destroyed, including this one. You see this car burned out. This home, 3-bedroom home. The homeowner tells us they've lived here for more than 50 years. It is now gone. All of this just really highlighting how dramatic California's fire season has been, with more than 18 times acres burned this year, more than last year. This morning, California in a state of emergency, 28,000 under evacuation orders. The Thompson wildfire raging just north of Sacramento.
Yeah, it's a devastating feeling.
We actually had the sheriffs and CHP going down the road on their little microphone and saying evac now, fires hit the roads.
The fast-moving fire engulfing cars and homes, leveling entire properties. More than 1,400 firefighters working around the clock, tackling the ferocious flames. Over 3,500 acres burning at 7% containment. Complicating their response, deadly record-breaking heat taking the life of one man in San Jose, with temperatures expected to reach the triple digits. The National Weather Service warning residents of the exceptionally dangerous situation. Add to that dry winds whipping up to 30 miles an hour. The dangerous combo feeding these fires, allowing them to spark and spread with ease.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be a tough firefight.
Cal Fire saying 8 of their own are injured, some heat-related. Helicopters, trucks, and dozers dispatched across tight-knit Oroville. Residents there anxiously waiting to see what's left of their homes.
We just bought our house in Kelly Ridge, so fingers are crossed that everything will be there when this is over.
Firefighters are still monitoring conditions throughout the area. Meantime, it is expected to be yet another hot day with highs in the 110s. And with fire officials here warning others they're canceling all fireworks. City officials closing down the 4th of July fireworks show.
And the fire season just getting underway here. All right, Melissa, thank you. Now to 4th of July security. Police this morning on high alert and beefing up staffing at large celebrations across the country, including the big fireworks display here in New York. ABC's senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins us now with more. Aaron, good morning.
And good morning to you. With those fireworks will launch from right here at the Hudson River, and while millions gawk, police officers, thousands of them in uniform and undercover, will be watching them. Drones will hover over the crowd, and police boats will patrol the water. The country's facing what law enforcement officials call a complicated threat environment caused by a surge in hate crimes, heightened emotion from 2 wars abroad, and the political climate at home. Intelligence bulletins obtained by ABC News detailed serious concerns not only about the New York fireworks, but about Independence Day celebrations in San Francisco and in Las Vegas. And a leading concern is that some lone offender is going to turn to violence without warning. But there's no indication of an organized plot. And as the mayor here says, Gio, the whole city is going to be enjoying 4th of July. Gio?
And let's hope it stays that way with the celebration. All right, Aaron, thank you so much. We're going to turn now to record holiday travel. If you're hitting the road this morning, you're in luck because it should be pretty quiet. But when it's time to go back home, things are expected to get very, very busy. Victor Oquendo is following it all at Miami International Airport. Good morning, Victor.
Hey, Gio, good morning from Miami, one of the top destinations this 4th of July weekend. While today will be a little quieter, TSA is bracing for a record crush of travelers in the days ahead. AAA projecting more than 70 million people are on the move this holiday, the most ever. TSA saying we could see the most passengers ever this weekend. While there are about 30,000 planes in the skies today, that number jumps to 46,000 tomorrow as travel ramps back up. Sunday will be the big day to head back home. You can take a look at the new numbers here from the TSA showing how many people they expect to screen. So here are some tips for those taking to the skies. Get to the airport early, carry on your luggage if you can. That'll help you avoid those lines. Check your flight status, and of course, keep an eye on the weather. Gio?
Always keep an eye on the weather. All right, Victor, thank you so much.